Welcome everyone. We are going to start briefly. So if you want to take a seat, we're about 1 or 2 minutes away from the beginning of this service. Thank you everyone at home for tuning in. מזמור לדוד, אדוני רואי לו אכסה, בנודש ירביצני, על מי מנוחות נפשי ישובב, יענכני במקל צדק למען שמו. גם כי אלך בגיא צל מוות, לא ידע רע כי אתה עמדי. שבטך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני. תערוך לפני שולחן נגד צורריי, וישנת בשמן ראשי כוסי רוויה. אך טוב וחסד ירדפוני כל ימי חיי, ושבתי בבית אדוני לאורך ימים. The words of the 23rd Psalm, a Psalm of David. Adonai is my shepherd, I shall not want, giving me repose in green meadows, leading me beside the still waters to revive my spirit, guiding me on the right path, for that is God's essence. Though I walk through a valley of the shadow of death, I fear no harm, for you are with me. Your staff and your rod comfort me. You prepare a banquet for me in the presence of my foes. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and kindness shall be my portion all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Adonai forever. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you to all of you at home for tuning in. My name is Rabah Emes from Congregation Shel, and it's my great honor to be here officiating the funeral services for Fira Roitman of blessed memory, who was also known to the Jewish people by her Hebrew name, Esfir Bat Yitzchak Belubov, Zichronah Libracha, blessed memory. She was the daughter of Isaac and Lubov, the sister of the late Naum, of blessed memory, the mother of Tatiana and Philip, Mikhail and Elena, the grandmother of Noah, Justin, Julian, and Alexander. Fira passed away on Monday, March 20th, peacefully, with family around her for the last couple of weeks of her life, at the age of 76. Judaism is an optimistic religion, and positive thinking should play an important role in a Jew's world view. All the stories in the Torah are positive. Individuals or the Jewish nation may have experienced difficulties or suffered setbacks, but ultimately they succeeded, and good was achieved and prevailed at the end. This is true regarding Adam's repentance and the continuation of humanity, the preservation of Noah and his descendants through the flood, Abraham spreading the message of God to all humanity, and the tribes of Israel redemption from Egypt, and the Jewish peoples receiving the promised land. The fact that all these wonderful things happened not in the context of serenity, stability, or prosperity, but rather the backdrop of great personal and national obstacles and hardships illustrates that Judaism's optimism is not only of a natural sort, but even when against all odds. Fira Roitman. She was born in the Soviet Union. There, she thought she had a bright future ahead of her, always brilliant at school, with excellent marks, so she decided to pursue a medical career. But to be admitted in medical school there, she had to pass 2 exams, a written one and an oral one. So right there, she discovered an ugly reality that accompanied the Jewish people wherever we went: discrimination. At the time to present the oral exam, Fira suffered discrimination for what they call her ethnicity. Even though she had a perfect score, she was turned down because she was a Jew. She was robbed of the opportunity to be a doctor by a corrupt panel who decided to reject her. Hurt by such unfair rejection, Fira decided to settle with becoming a medical lab technician, taking samples, processing tests, reporting results. But in 1990, she had a unique opportunity. She could come to Winnipeg with her whole family, sponsored by her brother Naum. The prospect of leaving the Soviet Union, especially at a time when Mikhail could be drafted at any minute, was something she couldn't let go. She would finally be able to give her family the life and the opportunities to thrive that she never had. So, Fira came to Canada with the kids and her mother. Once in Winnipeg, it took her a while to learn the new language, English. So, While she was taking ESL classes, Fira had no problem taking jobs as a cleaner, doing manual things. And eventually, she landed a job at City Bread. There, at City Bread, one day, the owner advised and helped Fira to take the nursing aid program. So, in a different country, in a different language, Fira went back to school and successfully completed the training to become a nursing aide, getting hired at the Concordia Hospital as a nurse aide, where she was well regarded. Even there, it wasn't all perfect. She had to deal with people making fun of her accent, and even in Canada, she had to deal with some discrimination. But no matter the circumstances, she always worked hard until the end, bonding with other immigrants going through the same and supporting each other. Probably not the life she had in mind when she applied to medical school in the Soviet Union. But at the end of the day, she was able to raise her kids in an amazing country where they could thrive and flourish. At the time of funeral, we have the tradition to eulogize the dead. Rabbi Soloveitchik, one of the great leaders of the 20th century American Jewry, explained that this is because no one's departure from this world should be covered by indifferent silence. We, who are left behind, should tell their story, mark their achievements, and learn as much as we can from their lives. So that's why I would like to invite now Tatiana and Mikhail to come to the microphone to eulogize their mother.
How can you say goodbye to someone that you have known your entire life? Someone imprinted in your very first memories, someone who has been an indelible part of your life's most important events. All of them made significant to you because your mother was there, or because she made them happen. From bringing you to the daycare for the first time, and picking you up a few hours later because you would have none of it, to taking you to your first music school audition, followed by 12 years of piano lessons, rain or shine, taking the bus with you in -30 Celsius and in 4 feet of snow of Winnipeg winter. Fira Roitman was a fiercely devoted mother who always put her family above herself. Her entire life. She came to this country still a young woman, abandoning a comfortable and familiar life to save her son from an unforgiving military draft and to give both of her children opportunities that the Soviet Ukraine would not present at the time, nor in the future. A shy woman who on one hand demurred her looks and on the other was fiercely adamant to look her way and to dress her way because that's what she knew best, rejecting any attempts to look more Canadian. A few hairdressers that I might have sent my mother to were too intimidated to do more to her hair than a slight trim. A sensitive and a hard-working young woman growing up in a small Jewish shtetl of 1960s USSR, at the time when a young woman could only go so far, and a Jewish woman even less so. My mother always knew the right way of doing a good job, made sure to do it, and of course nothing could stand in her way. She graduated at the top of her class from high school and from medical college. Only her resolve to be a doctor broken by a strict rejection of the entrance jury at the medical school entrance exam. Settling for a much more modest but respectable job as a medical technician in USSR, she always reminisced with pride about the importance of the work she did and the high stakes of accuracy and precision, transmitting those lessons to both of us. Here in Winnipeg, after cleaning apartment buildings we lived in to help support our family and working the graveyard shift at City Bread, she was able to come back to medicine again, working long shifts in a difficult and essential job of a nursing aide. Although perhaps my mother was not everyone's cup of tea, I also know how much she meant to some of her colleagues who came to visit her in her last days in the hospital and who are here with us today. And for that I thank you. A devoted grandmother, my mom also loved her 4 grandsons more than anything and supported them the best she could, from stuffing them with sausages and dumplings of all kinds, and I'm sure some of you had a chance to try those, to buy them sports equipment when they needed it, to practicing Russian poems with them on FaceTime, initiated by myself and less willing participant on the other side of the screen. So how do you say goodbye to someone who you have known your entire life and who you owe your entire life to? The answer is that you don't. You keep them in your mind's eye and in your heart for the rest of your life. Every day, you look in the mirror, you will see their nose, whether you like it or not. Their eyes and their smile reflected on your face. Every day you enjoy the luxuries of life and the opportunities they never had. You remember what she sacrificed so that you did not have to. And every day for the rest of your life, you remember the sound of their sacrifice, their voice, and the strength of their love to keep growing into the person she knew you to be and to become. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to everybody here for being here today in our lives. We could not do this without your love and support.
Thank you so much. I will read now a message, a eulogy, that it was sent by Xenia Taran, who is Tatiana's best friend. And these are her recollections of her interaction with Fira. She says, I've always known Fira as Tetia Fira, or Auntie Fira. As my best friend's mom, she was a big part of my childhood and youth. She was the quintessential Yiddish mommy, fierce, protective, a warrior. She came to Canada alone, with 2 children, to give them a better life. She worked long and hard hours so that Tanya and Misha could have a bright future. I have always admired her fearlessness and her dedication to her children. I have very tender memories of her. Here we are, sitting in her kitchen, having blackberry tea. Me, Tanya, and Tetia Fira. Gossiping and kvetching. Oh, how Tetia Fira loved to kvetch. Here I am, calling Tanya with some teenage crisis. Those happened a lot. Tetia Fira picking up the phone and saying, "Nope, Tanya's practicing. Call back later, Shenka." She always called me Malenkaya Zenia, little Zenia, and I know that she cared about me deeply, and I for her. Gone too soon, a shock to all of us. May our dear Tetia Fira rest in peace. Going to continue now with the memorial prayer, the El Maleh Rachamim. I would like to invite everyone to rise. El Maleh Rachamim Shochem Bameroimim Ametzei Menucha Nechuna Tachat Kanfei Hashehina V'ma'alot Kedoshim Kedoshim Uteorim Kezoyer Rakim Mazirim Ed Nishemat Ed Nishemat Espir Bad Yitzchak Belubov She'alecha Le'olama Ba'avur Shel Mitpalelim V'ad Azkadat Nishemata Began Eitein Began Edentei Menukata Lachem Balarachamim Yahastir Eya Beseder Kena Bableolamim Utzeror Bitzror Achayim Achayim Et Nishemata Adonai Unachalata Vetanuach Veshalom Al Mishkava Venumar Amen. Exalted, compassionate God, grant infinite rest in your sheltering presence among the holy and pure, the soul of Fira Roitman, who has gone to her eternal home. Merciful One, we ask that the loved one find perfect peace in your eternal embrace. May her soul be bound up in the bond of life. May she rest in peace. Let us all say, Amen. You may be seated. In a few minutes, we're going to proceed to the Chesed cemetery in a caravan fashion. If you're coming with us to the cemetery, please remember to turn on your four-way flashers, and please remember to stop signs and red lights. Immediately after burial, everybody's invited to participate in the meal of consolation that is going to take place at Temple Shalom, located in 1077 Grant Avenue. Again, 1077 Grant Avenue. Everybody's invited to come participate. And a reminder also that the Shiva will be private. Donations on Fira's memory could be made to the Jewish Child and Family Services, or of course, to the charity of your choice. And the family would like to extend special thanks to all the healthcare professionals at the Health Sciences Center in Winnipeg. Now it's time to proceed to the next stage, which is to transport Fira's coffin to the hearse. I would like to invite everyone to rise. Pallbearers, please assume your places alongside the coffin. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming out. Thank you to all of you for tuning in. Just wait for me. I will go in the front. I need my page here. Hold on.
Doing